The previous government had said that they would prioritize ethnic and religious minorities during the campaign. Prime Minister Trudeau said absolutely not, he would not continue that practice. Now we're hearing from officials at the background briefings that they don't even track that. Given that, although your government has said you won't prioritize those groups, those are the most vulnerable groups quite often, and you keep saying you want to help the most vulnerable leave. How do you help the most vulnerable if you have no idea if people are Alawite Muslims fleeing persecution, or Christians or Yazidis, or any of the many ethnic minority groups?
Well, we, like the United Nations, target the most vulnerable, and we do not ask the individuals what religion they are. I think many, many groups of different religions have been massacred and persecuted and treated horrendously because of the Syrian civil war and because of ISIS. And so what we do is we take the names from the United Nations, and by definition those are vulnerable people, and we choose who to come to Canada according to vulnerability, irrespective of religion.
Okay, but if one of the reasons that people are being slaughtered is they are the wrong religion or the wrong sect, I mean, you've made it a priority to say LGBT are a priority group for you. Why can this government not say Christians, Alawites, Yazidis, they're a priority group as well? You're saying we won't measure this, and it's wrong to do so, but you're going to keep track of LGBT and make sure that that's a priority. Well, why?
I'll give an answer. My colleague may have an answer too. We are targeting the most vulnerable. If you look at who has been slaughtered and killed as a consequence of the civil war and as a consequence of ISIS, there are many, many Muslims who are in this category. There are people of all religions in this category. The United Nations is the expert on refugees. They do not ask what is somebody's religion. Often it's difficult even to define. What they do and what we are doing in conjunction with the United Nations is seeking to welcome the most vulnerable. And gay people are more vulnerable because of persecution of gay people in that region. But people of all religions have been targeted. And so again, I repeat, we take the names from the United Nations, which is a population that is all vulnerable, and then we go through interviews and we seek out the most vulnerable and also the least risky from a security point of view. And we do not ask what religion you are.
Do you have something to add?
I would simply elaborate on what my colleague has already said. The question of vulnerability is extremely complex. It's not something that can be defined in an itemized manner. And a person of one particular religious denomination may be vulnerable in a particular geographic setting. A person of a particular gender or a particular sexual orientation may be vulnerable, again, in one locale and not in another. And so we very much trust our colleagues who work with the United Nations High Commission for Refugees to be able to take all of these factors into consideration: a person's age, a person's health status, a person's gender, their sexual orientation, their perhaps marital status, their religion, what subsection of religion they are, what location they have come from. All of those things need to be weighed in together, and it's essentially the decisions are made by experts who have been highly trained in this area and experienced and understand the complexities of the region.